Hi, my friends. Today we are going to assemble a patio set. It's bronze color, antique bronze color, but it's cast aluminum. It's actually aluminum. Very strong material. These here are the parts. It's well constructed, well engineered. It's pretty easy to put together. But if you don't have the instructions, I don't know if they're easy to find online, so you can just watch this video and hopefully help you put it together. So it comes with this package of hardware, scissors or box cutter to open it and grab out the bolts. These here bolts it's actually a stud that goes into the tabletop. So there's two ends to it. One has a flat head end to it. So make sure that's outside as you screw it in. So the flat head is facing up. You can actually use that flat head to screw that in completely. Now the nut on there, you'll actually end up taking off and using to fasten the legs. So here I screw in the stud with a ratchet screwdriver. Any flathead screwdriver will work. And you don't have to crank this down. Worry about like using super strength and breaking it, but tighten it down there, put them in good so they don't come out. No, I mean, they're not coming out, but there we go. I guess I'm going to show you as I screw everything in. Now, these here are the legs. Now the bolts are going to hold those on. So just sort of loosely put the bolt on. You don't need to crank it down now because you'll have to have some play in these legs when you put the centerpiece in. If you tighten it down, you won't have any play. Now these legs actually go in, not out like I have it right there. You'll see that shortly. They'll end up going in. It doesn't really matter while you're putting this together, putting these on which direction, because if you leave it loose, you can just spin the bolts or the legs around. And there's my last piece. Probably thinking initially, oh, this is how it goes. But that's not right. They actually go inside. There we go. No problem. So then now the centerpiece is actually kind of a stabilizer. It holds them together and makes it much more stable than if the legs were independent. So they give you this little wrench. It works. Going to probably hurt your fingers on it. So if you have your own decent sized regular crescent wrench, I would use that instead of what they give you, just because it's easier on your hands and to use than their little chintzy thing they give you. So anyway, when you're done putting those on, and again, I tighten it maybe a little bit too much, and I'm going to have to untighten it, because as you can see, when you put that center unit there, or the brace, it won't fit. So you'll have to loosen the legs a teeny bit there. Just enough that there's play so you can get this centerpiece in there. And then you make sure you line up the holes properly and get the next screws that will fasten that centerpiece in out of the hardware holder. You try to do that without cutting your fingers. And as you can see, there's 2 screws that fasten these in place. It's, like I said, pretty well constructed, pretty durable. I mean, I wouldn't dance on this. Specifically not me. But perhaps a lighter person could do it. I wouldn't recommend it, though. It's not designed for table dancing, probably. So, the washers and the nut that holds the centerpiece, here they are. There's actually a lock washer or a spring washer, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry. And a regular washer. So you have 2 washers and the nut, as you can see here, that goes for the fastening. So, which one do you put on first? The regular washer. Which one is that? Is that the spring? Oh, the spring washer, it looks like I put on there first. And then the regular washer. Probably doesn't matter. As long as you put it on there. And just hand tighten it. For now. Now once you hand tighten all of the fasteners on there, that's when we'll begin cranking these down. And just like anything when you're assembling it, you know, tighten them kind of diagonally. Do one on one side, another on another side, and bring it, you know, evenly. Don't super crank one down and then it's kind of lopsided and you can't get the other one to go correct. So the best way to keep things even when you're tightening things is to do on one side and then go to the other side. And do it. I don't believe I'm going to go through putting each one of these fasteners on here. So we'll be moving along to the next step soon. Yep. Oh, so it is a different sized wrench. The one they provide has 2 different sizes on each end. So if you did use your own, you'll need it's a different size for the fasteners on this metal part than on the tabletop. So then now we crank these down. Again, do it evenly. Do not use your super strength. I mean, crank it down good. And then maybe a couple weeks down the road or a month down the road, you know, check them. But if you use your super strength, these things tend to have the ability to break. And that's a bad thing. So there it is. That table's done. Now we're going to work on a chair. Yes, indeed. There's the chair back and the seat. So the first thing we're going to do, take the little plastic covers off of the chair back and just slide the back into the holes in the seat. Just like that. So we're going to get the washers for this out. And we're going to end up having to flip this guy over so that we can access the bolts in the back. And clumsily put the washer on, the spring washer next, and the nut. So washer, spring washer, lock washer, and a nut. Hand tighten. And do the other side. Now this one here, once you get these hand tightened on, you can crank them down. But again, tighten them evenly, one side, the next side, tighten, 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 and don't use your super strength. Tighten it good, but don't turn your Spider-Man powers on. Spider-Man certainly could break those bolts. So then we're gonna we gotta make sure to take the little plastic deals off. Those are the leg studs there that are next to these the two mounting nuts. So we crank it down. Like I said, once that's tight. However, you're working on this. I set it so I had access to the bottom of the seat, and now can attach the legs. So these are the legs. They come with those plastic pieces, and so the legs just slide right on there. And now we're going to round up a washer, and you guessed it, a spring washer, lock washer, and a nut. Yes, sir. So we'll put these on, same order. Washer, spring washer, and then the nut. And hand tighten them down, and then crank them with your crescent wrench. That's what those are called, right? Crescent wrenches? Or just wrench. Okay, so hopefully, I'm pretty sure I don't go through all four legs, because each leg is exactly the same as the other. That's right. Washer, lock washer, and then the nut. Anyway, once you're done putting the legs on, go around, make sure they're all tightened evenly, pretty good and tight. This is what people will be sitting on. You don't want the legs to fail. No, your wife and or husband will probably not be pleased with your assembly if their sister or brother or mom falls because the leg falls off. Oh, that would be bad. Anyway, so yeah, make sure these are on reasonably good and then double check them after a week or two that they're nice and tight. These lock washers probably keep them in place pretty good. And there we go. So the other chair is exactly the same. I don't show that. And this is it. I hope this video helped you guys. And there's the finished product. Yeah, looking good. All right. Thanks for watching.